Diarrhea gummies, flavors that don't mix, and an unfortunate name. In this video, we're gonna take a look at the 10 biggest candy failures of all time. Number 10, Hubba Bubba Soda Pop Gum. Hubba Bubba Soda Pop Gum was a line of chewing gum that came out in the late 1980s. It was made by W.M. Wrigley Jr. Company, which is one of the biggest candy makers in the world. The gum was made to taste like popular soda drinks like orange soda, cola, and root beer. The gum was also shown as a fun and playful take on the chewing gum market and was designed to appeal to kids, teenagers, and young adults. The packaging was colorful and featured cartoonish images of soda cans and bubbles. However, as great as all of that sounds, the Hubba Bubba Soda Pop Gum was a huge miss with customers. Most customers thought the flavors were bad and artificial. The gum was also known to lose its flavor quickly, which defeats the entire point of it. The candy makers eventually stopped making the gum during the early 1990s. It never made it back to the market. Number 9, Altoids Tangerine Sours. Altoids Tangerine Sours were a series of tangy candies with a citrus flavor. They were also made by the Wrigley Company. The candies hit shelves during the early 2000s and were described as a sour and more intense version of the classic Altoid mints. The Altoids Tangerine Sours were sold in shiny metal tins with bright orange and white designs. The candies themselves were small, round discs with a crunchy outside and tart and tangy flavor on the inside. The packaging described the candy as sour, sugar-coated citrus drops. They were then sold as a fun and flavorful treat for adults. Even though many people started out looking forward to the new flavor, the candy turned out to be a massive flop. While some found it too sour and strong, others liked the classic mint Altoids better. As a result, the Commons stopped making the Altoids Tangerine Sours after a few years. Number 8, Jolt Cola Gum. Jolt Cola Gum didn't stay in the market for long after its release in the late 1990s. It was made as an alternative to soda drinks that contains lots of caffeine. The gum was sold as the easiest way to get the energy boost of a Jolt Cola, the drink that inspired it, without having to buy a can of soda. Although the idea of such a candy sounded good to some consumers, the Jolt Cola Gum failed to make any progress in the market. One of the main reasons for its failure was the taste. Most consumers found it unpleasant and artificial, which made it difficult to enjoy the candy. Another factor that led to the failure of this candy was that energy drinks and shots were more popular. As these products became more and more available, people found them to be the best way to get a quick energy boost. While the Jolt Cola Gum is a huge candy fail due to its poor taste and zero popularity, the makers remain a popular brand in the energy drink market. If you think these were bad, things are about to get worse. Keep watching to see what's next. Number 7, the Nestle Wonderball. The Nestle Wonderball was a chocolatey candy made by Nestle during the late 1990s and early 2000s. The candy came in the shape of a small ball and had stickers and toys in the center for kids. Naturally, it became very popular. The outside of the candy was made of chocolate, like dark chocolate, white chocolate, or milk chocolate. The inside was then filled with treats like chocolate candies and a small sticker or toy. Although the product was good, what made this candy a fail was safety concerns. Remember how kids love to eat small things? Well, a small toy covered in chocolate doesn't sound like such a good idea now, does it? In 1997, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission warned that the small toys might choke kids if eaten. As a result, Nestle had to take the product off the shelves and stop making it. In 2000, the company tried to sell the candy without the small toys inside, but it never became quite as popular as the original version. Number 6, Lifesavers Holes. Lifesavers Holes were candies sold in the mid-1990s by the Lifesavers brand, which is connected to the Wrigley Jr. Company. It's almost like they own this list. To put it simply, the candies were just the holes or center portions of actual Lifesavers candy, which were often thrown away during production. The idea behind this candy was to give people a fun and cheap alternative to the real Lifesavers candies, which were usually more expensive due to their size and flavors. The holes came in small plastic containers with flip-top lids. Although the idea wasn't that bad, Lifesavers Holes did not become as successful as Lifesavers candy. Some consumers found them too small and unsatisfying, while others didn't like that they typically came in single flavors, unlike the real thing. As a result, the company stopped making Lifesavers Holes after only a few years on the market. This is proof that if something's not broken, you shouldn't try to fix it. Number 5, Mars bars with almonds. Here's another example of don't fix it if it's not broken. The Mars bar with almonds was a new variation of the popular candy bar Mars bars, which was introduced by the same company in 2002. The Mars bar with almonds was meant to replace the original Mars bar. They were made with nougat, caramel, and whole almonds covered in milk chocolate. The idea behind this new candy was to give customers a better version of the classic candy bar, especially as many consumers like to have nuts in their candy. However, the new Mars bar failed to beat the original one, and consumers didn't like it as much. Many complained that the Mars bar with almonds didn't taste as good as the real thing, and that the almonds let out a strong flavor that ruined the nougat and caramel. There's also a part about the new Mars bar being more expensive than the original. No one wanted to pay too much for a mid-product. As a result, the company stopped making the Mars bar with almonds after a few years and brought back the original Mars bar. Number 4. Brock's Bridge Mix. Brock's Bridge Mix was an assortment of chocolate candies made up of several chocolate-covered creams, fruits, and nuts. While the Bridge Mix is still available today and bought by many, it didn't always have a good time in the market. In fact, its quality and makeup have been slammed many times. One of the main issues with this candy was that the variety and quality of the chocolates in every bag were mixed. Some bags came with good, high-quality chocolates, while others were waxy and had low-quality chocolates with poor taste. Another problem was the price of the candy. Many complained about paying high prices for terrible chocolates. To solve these problems, the makers have improved the quality of their candy over time. They also release new flavors and varieties to meet a wider range of tastes. While the Brock's Bridge Mix can be considered a candy fail in the past for its many problems, the brand has learned from its mistakes and gotten better. Kudos to them. Starting out, things get even worse. Keep watching until the end. Number 3. AIDS Diet Candy. This candy, which has the same pronunciation as the disease, was released as a diet candy in the 1970s and 80s. The candy was sold as a help for people wanting to lose weight, and surprisingly, it was a hit. The candy came in the form of small, chewy caramels with many flavors like peanut butter, caramel, and chocolate. It contained an ingredient called benzocaine, which helped to lower appetite by numbing the taste buds. The candy was very popular at the start and was promoted by celebrities like Karen Carpenter. However, the name AIDS started to become a problem when the AIDS disease went viral in the 80s. Unsurprisingly, the public started to move away from the candy. The company tried to save its product by changing the name to Diet AIDS, but no one was buying it. Literally. Ultimately, the brand could not beat the popularity of the disease or its connection to it. By the late 1980s, it stopped production. While this failure is a huge one, no doubt, it wasn't exactly the company's fault, although some might argue that a change of the name away from the AIDS link would have been better than their sorry excuse for a rebrand. Number 2. Pumpkin Spice M&M. As recently as 2017, Mars put out a new seasonal candy for fall, pumpkin spice flavored M&Ms. The candy was sold as a seasonal treat for fans of pumpkin spice. Well, the candy did not live up to expectations. Instead, it got a ton of negative feedback from consumers. Many found it terrible and without the real pumpkin spice flavor they were promised. Some even said the candy tasted like chemicals and candle wax. In addition to the poor flavor, some consumers were not pleased with the candy's appearance. The brown, orange, and white colors didn't show the candy in a good light or improve its already bad quality. Despite the negative feedback, the company continued to produce and sell this candy every fall season in the last couple of years. Yes, because stubbornness has always been a good way to turn the market. Needless to say, the candy has never been as popular as other seasonal flavors like peppermint and gingerbread. All in all, the pumpkin spice M&Ms were one of the biggest candy fails due to the poor experience it offered consumers and its low popularity compared to other seasonal candies. Number 1. Haribo Sugar-Free Gummies. This had to be the dream candy for proctologists. Haribo is a well-known German company popular for its gummy bears and other gummy candies. In 2013, the company created a new version of its gummy bears without sugar. This candy became popular for all the wrong reasons, including side effects that were unexpected and unpleasant. The candy contained licocin, which is known to cause digestive problems like gas, bloating, and diarrhea in some people. However, the severity of these side effects was huge and took everyone by surprise. Many consumers said they had to deal with gas, stomach cramps, and diarrhea after eating them. This earned the nickname the Gummy Bear Cleanse. Some went on to leave reviews on Amazon narrating their experience in the most humorous yet graphic ways possible. To manage this problem, Haribo released a statement about the side effects of licocin and warned consumers not to eat lots of their sugar-free gummy bears at once. Despite these problems, these sugar-free gummy bears remain a popular treat today and are still sold around the world. However, the bad reputation still hangs over the candy. Enjoyed the video? Now watch this one.